Hey everyone, Chris here. Welcome back to the shop. Now we are starting our next big project. Now this is not a full-on build. This is actually an ARF that we are going to be putting together over the next few weeks. This is the BIG T-28 Trojan from Legend Hobby. I've been really excited for the arrival of this model. It's been in development for well over a year and it's finally hitting the streets. And so I'm super excited to put this together. And so we're gonna be featuring this over the next few weeks. I'm gonna break up the assembly into multiple videos, I think. And so today we are unboxing the whole thing. It is time to take this out of the box. There's a lot to unpack here, but make sure you stick around to the end because I've got a special reveal on how we're gonna be powering this model. It is different than I normally go. So be sure to catch that at the end. So let's tear into these boxes, see what we got. And so yeah, let's get to it. All right, so we actually have, the kit came in two boxes. This is the main kit box, but a separate box came with the cowl. In the process of this, there was a small change that they had to make to the cowl, and so these actually came separately, and these are very scale. Thomas wanted to make sure that the cowls were scaled to the full size, which is why they are coming separately. Also in here are the Retracts from Sierra Giant. So let's open this one up first, then we'll tear into the big one. Man, we're gonna be throwing lots of bubble wrap away. All right, we got the swag. Thomas is always really cool about including swag in his stuff. Oh wait, there's more. You want black, you want brown, green? So much tape. Air kit for the Retracts. Oh, this is a brake valve, it looks like. So I opted to go for the air Retracts on this. I'll do a separate video on installing air Retracts. I prefer them on a large scale model versus electric because they've actually been more reliable for me than electric has in a large scale format. And with the Sierra gear, they're super scale. All right, here is the nose. All right, check that out. This is the nose Retract, super scale, nice and beefy. And you got your air cylinder here, and this just retracts straight. What's interesting is you've got the scale forward rake on here. Looks to be more than 100 degrees on this, so maybe 105, 110 degrees. In terms of the retraction angle, this is angled probably about 10 degrees forward of 90, but yeah. Got our nose. Oh, nice cushion on the oleo action there. So now this is awesome. I didn't realize that this came with it, but what this is the scale propeller nut. Okay, that's awesome. I didn't realize that was coming. Something I was worried about, so perfect. Don't drop it like I did. It looks like it's a screw through type. It's all metal, and so that's really nice quality. So that came in this red box. Let's see, I'm not sure the manufacturer of it. But here we go, it just says high quality aluminum spinner. Yes, it is. Right, don't want to lose that. All right, we'll take the cowl out next. So much bubble wrap. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, oh man, look at this paintwork. Super glossy, super shiny. Paintwork is super clean. It's really nice and glossy. Yeah, look at the size of this. That is a large diameter cowl right there, which means we put something fun in here. Put this up here. We don't want to lose that either. So these should be the mains as well as the wheels, it looks like. Okay, so these are the main struts. Yeah, nice and smooth on the oleo. Yeah, you can see really nicely made. Sierra Giant scale makes really nice landing gear. So I assume, here are the Retract units. I'll show you this first. So this is the Retract unit. It is a cinch type, so this is gonna slide in here, and then this is gonna clamp it in place. It's a clamp style, not a cinch style. I guess it's kind of similar, but so this will go in here. Actually, it'll go this way, and yeah, it retracts 90 degrees. All right, one of the other things I want to point out, there is this attachment right here on the strut, which is for the strut doors, the gear doors. When we do we'll do a video on the retract installation, we'll do the doors at the same time, because I don't know how much information there is about installing air retracts. Like I said, I much prefer them. They're extremely reliable when you set them up right and you have them all nice and sealed well. And so, yeah. Got our mains. Let's check out the wheels. All right, so here is our nose, nice hard tire, nice beautiful machined hub. And so yeah, that's gonna go right on here. And then here are the mains. Now these have air brakes in them. So I needed brakes. I do plan to fly this from my home field, which is a 400-foot runway. Don't expect it'll be an issue taking off, but for landings, I don't want to be running super long, and so the brakes were a necessity. And these also came from Sierra Giant. So this is their whole system. We've got the retracts, the struts, the air kit, the deluxe air kit came from Robart, of course. And so then the brake valve is right here, all included. So yeah, landing gear are beautiful, really, really nice. We got to tear into the big one. I got to clear the space for a minute, and then yeah, we'll pull that over and see what's inside that one. All right, time for the big one. These come double boxed, so we got to remove this outer box first to get to the actual kit box. All right, I think we're just gonna have to cut it open. There we go. Oh, there's that. Get this out of the way. Are we ready for this? All right, here we go. Let's bring the camera around as we unpack this. Give you guys a closer look. All right, Cockpit decals, well, stickers, I guess. More stickers. I think we're gonna end up doing a slightly different paint scheme than this. Unfortunately, the blue here is not quite dark enough either, so it's all right. Cali Graphics, we can do something custom pretty easily, or we could do our own. So I haven't fully decided on the markings yet, but I've been looking around and there's a few that I kind of like. So yeah, horizontal stabilizer. It's all pre-hinged. We'll have to glue the hinges in, of course, but covering job is really nice. I'm surprised there's not really much in the way of wrinkles. I expect there will be at some point, but we'll just put a heat gun to that and it'll shrink it all up really nicely. You get a idea of the size of this. Is just the stabilizer. So get the rudder. This is a tall rudder. So yeah, again, really nicely covered. If you can see it, yeah, it's really impressive. Nice and light too, built really well, super clean. All right, here's the wing, one half. This is the right wing panel. You can see some of the wrinkling. That's no big deal. We'll shrink that right up. You can see, let's take a look at this flat hinging. Take a close look at this. Yeah, really nice, clean. The way that they do this is the hinge is actually offset within the flap along this triangular wedge. There's a wire that runs down the length of it, and so that's how you get that nice, clean flap. You got these nice big flaps too. What strikes me is the weight. The weight of this wing is actually quite light for the size of it. Obviously that's going to change when we start putting stuff in here, but yeah, it's really well built. There's resin that's been applied inside the wheel well as well, which is a nice touch. You don't normally get that, and so that seals all that up if you're flying gas or something like that. All right, second wing, this gives us an idea of the hinges, big heavy duty hinges. They're Robart type hinge, you know, with the metal pin. Yeah, to give an idea. See the action on. Do it this way. on this aileron. Grab the box top. Have somewhere to put this stuff. Start with the small pieces first. All right, so this is all cockpit stuff that it looks like. Nice thing is, just like with the Sky Raider, they had a full cockpit kit. I've got a warbirdpilots.com pilot for it with one of my random servo motion generators, so he'll be moving around in the cockpit. Should be pretty awesome. You've got this big glass bubble canopy, so you'll really be able to see what's going on in there. I'm not sure what that is, but all right. So this right here, take it out of the bag. This is a functional dive brake or speed brake that goes on the belly. So the fact that they have this built into the airplane is awesome because, you know, all the scale details are what really set this stuff apart. And for me especially, I love to see all of that. So this is really exciting to see. This appears to be Canopy cockpit stuff. So we're gonna leave that in the bag for now. We'll put it back in here. I'm guessing these are nose gear doors. That's what it looks like. Here, this is all canopy stuff here. So you can see what I mean about the big bubble canopy. There's a ton of glass here. And so it actually comes segmented. It's the canopies, both forward and aft, slide. That's all built into it. So this is the forward canopy that goes here. And then behind it, this is the rear canopy frame with the canopy right here. So this all has to get glued in, of course. We will use, you know, some RC56 canopy glue, something like that. But there's a process to putting this all together. Make sure to show you guys how to do all of that. Wing tube, as well as maybe a pin of some sort. I'm not sure. There's a metal dowel in there. And these are the push rods. We'll just leave those in the bag for now. All right, main gear doors. We're gonna have to set this up ourselves. I'm sure there's gonna be some guidance in the instructions, but again, we'll show how to do all of that in the process too. Gear doors are great, but terrible at the same time. Just something you take your time doing, and you should be able to get a nice, reliable gear door system, but it takes some time to set them up. Once they're set up right, they should be good. Gas tank, along with some hardware, a bunch of hardware in here. We'll leave that in the bag for the moment. Oh, you know what? I bet you these are for the nose mount. That's what I'm guessing is these will bolt into the fuselage and then in the nose area, and then the retract will actually mount to these metal, this angled metal. And so it looks like there's two options in here. There's two landing gear options. There's JP Hobby, and then there is the Sierra Giant scale. So we'll figure out which ones are required for which when we get there. All right, some servo trays, looks like gas tank trays, stuff like that. We'll want to make sure that everything is thoroughly glued here when we get to this point on all of the servo mounts and all of that. We'll double check everything. Firewall, and it's like some angle iron to help with gluing this in place, or not angle iron, triangle balsa stock to help hold this when it gets glued on. And now, the part we've all been waiting for, of course. All right, here it is. Big, beefy fuselage. Let's put it in a cradle. Nice big hatch. We've got these screw ends. We might change that up so I don't have these screws in the back, but open this up. This is a huge hatch on here. Oh man. I mean, this whole area from here to here is canopy. To deal with the sliding canopy portion of this, they had to make it this big because you can see there is a track here, and then there's track here for the sliding canopy. Look how much space you've got in here. Holy mackerel. If you want to go electric, you want to go gas, any number of things, man, you got all the space in the world to deal with what you need to deal with. You know, again, the weight of the fuselage, this is pretty good for the size of it. Impressive build too. Let's look at the bottom. All right, so this is the area for nose gear retract. You have your carry through for the wings, a tube receiver, opening for the main gear. This is for the speed brake, goes right here. So now we'll put this together, put it up on the bench, get an idea what it looks like all in one piece. All right, but first, what are we gonna power this with? That is the big question. I went back and forth, but ultimately, this is what I went with. 3-cylinder radial. This is the 60cc. Let's open this thing up. Got our ignition and some other exhaust tubes and things, but let's take a look at the beast. There it is. Man, what a beauty. Smells like oil. It's the best. The best. All right, the moment of truth. Man, easy. Plenty of space in here. Oh yeah, it's like it's made for it. So there we are, Sato FG60. Now, I do plan to do a couple of things. I have a different magnet sensor for it. This is an aftermarket part. And also I have a different intake coming from Morris Mini Motors. My understanding is that the #1 cylinder can run a little bit hot. That's kind of a general thing with the Sato radials, the 3 cylinders. From what I understand, the 60cc is a little bit better. It's a little more equal temperatures across cylinders, but even so, I'm gonna replace the intake, and so that way we won't have any issues. We'll also baffle the cylinders in the cowl, hopefully with some scale radial engine looking pieces. So yeah, this is exciting. I haven't done a lot with gas. Yeah, I'm excited for this. All right, let's put this thing together. Let's see what it looks like on the bench. Well, there she is, all in one piece. What a beast, man. This is a really nicely built airplane at first glance. The weight is really good, so I'm excited to start getting it together. From here, we're gonna start the assembly process. I'm going to show this every step of the way. Like I mentioned, I think we're gonna do multiple videos on this versus just one single assembly video, just because there are some elements here. Yes, it is an ARF, but there are things that translate to, full-on building, especially like focusing on gear doors and retracts. Talking about the gas engine installation and all of that. And so, yeah, I'm excited for this airplane. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun, and I can't wait to fly it. So be on the lookout for that, guys. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. We've got a whole lot of work ahead of us now. And so yeah, be sure to follow along, be on the lookout for the first assembly video on this Legend Hobby T-28 ARF. Super nicely built airplane. Yeah, there's a lot of really, really awesome features in the model. And so yeah, it's time to get after it. And so thanks so much for watching. I've got a link to everything down in the description below if you're wondering where to get the model. Otherwise, if you'd like to see the latest scratch build project we featured on the channel, you can see that here. And until next time, I'll see you at the field.